Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy S. Servino here, bringing you some new fire math tutorials. No joke, let's get into it.
Alright, so that was a little shout out from McGovern there. Let's start up the video here and take a look at some of these review questions for tomorrow's test. So tomorrow's test, remember, is 9 multiple choice questions, 3 constructions, and 2 show oral questions. See you later. So hopefully you are watching this video to review for your test for tomorrow. So let's take a look at number 1. So for number 1, the first thing I notice is that this angle 115 is supplementary here. So this is going to be an angle of 65 degrees. If that angle is 65, I know I could take 180 minus 65 minus 70, and that gives us angle B, which winds up being 55 degrees. No, 45 degrees, sorry. So now we have to do some thinking here, because there was something that you learned in middle school that allows us to help answer this question. So one of the things we learned was that the largest side is opposite the largest angle. So that means BC is the largest side. The smallest or shortest side is opposite the smallest angle, so that means AC is the smallest. So AC can't be bigger than AB. That doesn't make sense. BC is larger than AC, so that choice C doesn't make sense. AB is the medium size, which is not going to be bigger than the smallest, the largest size, so that doesn't make sense. The only one that logically makes sense is D. Let's look at 2. So 2 gives us a mid-segment question. I know that because it says midpoints. So all these are going to be split into pieces, and I know some of these pieces are going to be congruent in other places. It says that AB is 18, that means this is 9 and 9. AC is 14, so that's 7 and 7. And BC is 10, so that's 5 and 5. It wants us to find the area, the perimeter of quadrilateral ACRM. ACRM is this quadrilateral that I'm highlighting in red. Now if I add up all of the sides there, I have 3 of the 4 sides. MR is the mid-segment parallel to AC, therefore AR is 7. So if I add up the sides of the red triangle, 9 plus 7 plus 5 plus 14, I get an answer there of 35. For number 3, I see that we have a triangle CDE. So if I take 180 and subtract the 65 and the 68, whatever's left is going to be that third angle, angle DCE. So if I do 180 minus 65 minus 68, I get 47, which makes this angle 47. Now to find angle A, I have to do 180 minus 70 minus 47, because that's another triangle, right? Every time we see a triangle, I know it has to add up to 180, so that makes this angle of 63. So angle A is 63 degrees. Angle 4, number 4, tells us that we have 2 bisected angles, so these 2 smaller angles are the same. We just don't know how big they are. So I know the whole thing is 180, so if I subtract away the 44, I get 136. That 136 is split between 2 equal-sized angles, so each would be 68 if I divide the 136 by 2. All right, moving right along here. Number 5 tells us that we have parallel lines. Parallel lines, we're always looking for alternate interior angles. HFG is 130, that's on the outside. EHF is 70. And we can keep going to figure out what angle ABE is. One of the things I see is ABE is this angle here, which is the alternate interior angle here. So if I can find angle FEH, I then know angle ABE because they're the same size. So I know because this is a linear pair, that interior angle is 50. I can then take 180 and subtract 70 and 50, which gives us this angle of 60. So I did 180 minus 70 minus 50. So just using what we know about triangles and parallel lines all in the same question. That's a really nice question to ask on a test. Number 6, you just needed to know what this picture was describing. D is the midpoint, which is being connected to the vertex, which is a median. I would definitely know how to do this construction for tomorrow's test, like as if it's on the test. Hint, hint. The next one says to construct an altitude. To construct an altitude, remember we have to make it perpendicular. The only choice that makes sense is B. Again, I would probably look at that one because you might have to do that on tomorrow's test, like that trapezoid question that we did in class. All right, let's look at 8. 8 tells us that we have an incenter. Incenter is created by the angle bisectors. So angle FEC is being cut into 2 equal sized pieces. So if the whole thing is 84, the 2 equal pieces are 42 apiece. And then let's take a look at the triangle that I used here. So this angle BRC is this angle here, part of that red triangle. Well, the whole angle ECF, this whole angle here is 28. So if I just do 180 minus 42 minus 28, well, that gives me my answer that I'm looking for. So that gives me 110 degrees. Number 9 gives us angle A is 35. It tells us that angle ABD is 25. So that gives us this angle of 120 because every triangle has 180 degrees in it. If I do 180 minus 35 minus 25, that's where the 120 comes from. I know that's a linear pair to here. It tells us that angle C is also 60, meaning this remaining angle is 60. And if all 3 angles of a triangle are 60, I know it's equilateral. Number 10, in the triangle, I have one angle. So if I subtract it away, I get 100. That one angle has to be split evenly over 2 congruent pieces, which each would be 50. To find the exterior angle, I would add these 2 together, and I would make 130 degrees. For number 11, looking at my diagram, angle 1 and angle 2 are definitely not the same size, therefore they are supplementary. So if I take 2x plus 36 plus 7x minus 9, that equals 180. 9x plus 27 equals 180. Subtract the 27, and I get 9x is equal to whatever that comes out to be, right? 153. Divide by 9, and I get x equals 17. Now, notice 17 is a choice. It's not the answer, because they want angle 1. So I have to do 2 times 17 plus 36, which gives us 70. Don't fall for the distractor answers, right? Number 12. Number 12 gives us this 125. If I do 180 minus 125, that gives us an angle in here of 55. And because of the triangle ABC, if I do 180 minus 55 minus 60, I wind up getting 65. And then I know this is a linear pair, so if I do 180 minus 65, I get this exterior angle is 115, which is angle ACR. Number 13 tells us that DE divides AB and AC proportionally. It says angle C is 26, angle A is 82, and DF bisects angle BDE. It says find the measure of angle DFB. Well, if this is dividing these 2 pieces proportionally, I know these 2 segments are going to be parallel to each other. Meaning if that's 26, this is 26. We want to find angle DFB. So we want to keep going here a little bit. So I know angle B. So if I do 180 minus 82 minus 26, well, that gives me 72. I know if I do 180 minus 82 minus 26 again, I know this is 72. It says that DF bisects angle BDE. So that means I know these two pieces, which I'll just put dots in here and here, are the same exact size. So if I do 180 minus 72, that gives me 108 split between two equal parts, making each of these 54. Still not the angle I want, but I have a triangle that'll help me find what I want. So here's my triangle. That red triangle I know two angles for. So if I subtract 180 minus 54 minus 72, whatever that gives me is my answer. 54 degrees. Almost done. The construction. So to do this construction, and I'm just going to kind of freehand sketch it here, so don't make fun of my sketch here. I'm going to start by putting the point of my compass in at J, and I'm going to make an arc, the distance between J and more than a distance to ML. And I'm just going to make an arc. It's going to look something like this. I'm then going to put my compass both here and here, where those two dots are. Measure it so it's the size of J, and I'm going to make an arc that comes down from each of them. If I connect J to where this arc intersects down here, the line I just drew is an altitude. Not too bad for freehand. Number 15, I changed the rule or the instructions here. I made it say to find angle BCA. So if angle D is 31 and triangle ACD is a right triangle, if I do 90 minus 31, that gives me 59. The reason why I'm using 90 is I already know there's a 90-degree angle there, so the other two angles must be complements of each other. If I do 90 minus 59, I get 31 there because that makes a right angle. And then if I take 90 minus 31, I get 59 again. So I know angle BCA is 59 degrees. Now, this also tells me that these two are parallel because these are alternate interior angles. Good question to ask, right? Also, I know that because double 90 there is going to make kind of a parallel set, but we'll learn about that in Unit 3. Hopefully this video helps. If you're enjoying these videos, keep watching them. Look back at old videos if you're confused about some of the topics or you want to go over things. You got to work on this class, otherwise it's only going to get harder. All right. Good luck studying, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the test.